Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
we're all set.
Sorry for the delay. Would you please do roll call?
Ginny Sullivan, Nick Caimano,
Here.
Juan Gonzalez,
Here.
Tim Robinson,
Here.
Dan Bruno,
Here.
Dave O'Brien.
Here,
We have a quorum. We have 6 out of 10.
and the late Brian Campbell will be here when he makes it in that big truck. First is I need to approve a motion to approve the minutes of the December 18th, 2023 IDA board meeting. Do I have such a motion? Moved by Nick. Do I have a second? Second by Dan. Any omissions or corrections? All in favor? Carried. Mr. Treasurer.
Sure. Before you have the accounts payable, there's just a few notes here that I have. Correct. On the second page, are you home? He's already been paid 5,000 of that. So the check we're signing today is for 36,3465. Other than that, there were some prepaid items that went out. You can see if anybody has any questions, I can certainly try to answer. So
Just one minor, same one, are you home? So is that a reimbursable one or is that not?
Most of that's all reimbursable.
It is reimbursable.
Okay,
with that,
you're gonna move it?
go ahead. Second.
Moved by Tim, second by Nick. Any further discussion? All in favor? Oh, roll call, sorry.
Yeah.
Ginny Sullivan,
Yes.
Nick Caimano,
Yes.
Juan Gonzalez,
Yes.
Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
Dan Bruno,
Yes.
Dave O'Brien.
Boy, I could really put something in this by voting no, can I? I'll vote yes today. Year-to-date financial report.
We have in front of you the 12/31/23 fiscal year end for the IDA. We have the balance sheet, which is the 31st, obviously subject to our auditors reviewing it. And I'm sure the changes, but that we have a balance sheet showing a very healthy equity position, mainly a bit in the form of land, but quite a bit of cash too. The checking and savings are basically a money market. So we are in a very healthy position from the balance sheet standpoint. You can see the income statement for 2022. Obviously, the big difference is the outside property coming on the balance sheet in 22, coming in as a form of other and 5. But you can see our total income for 2023 was $1,250. Total operating expenses $612,000, resulting in a net income of $623,000. Obviously, quite a bit of that was funds granted from the CDC to the IDA, $750,000. So we will need to move forward on some new project revenues in 2024, so we can balance the budget, not rely on grants from the outside, unless we have the sale or efficient leasing. I'd be open up to any questions on the income statement or balance sheet.
Any questions?
Yeah, no. Make a motion to-
Motion by Tim to accept it. Do I have a second? Go ahead. Does that mean you're making a second or just want Jenny to go ahead?
Oh, yes.
Okay, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
No, roll. Would that be roll too?
We're not paying anything, just reporting out. Canal Side Master Plan update.
Yes. Excuse me. Is there?
That, Bob Holmes sent a list of questions, et cetera, to Kara. I'll put you on the spot. What's the status of those as far as getting answers to them?
Well, I actually was hoping to talk to you guys tonight. I have some questions about what entity, if there's a document that reflects what entity is responsible for what, or is there a timeline kind of scenario? And then I think I need to discuss with the other attorneys. I know, one of the municipalities has asked for a deposit and things like that. But I think my main question is I need to know what all of those entities' responsibilities are as you understand them.
So probably a good idea to get together with me and Bob.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking after I went through it again, the list.
But also thinking about this, that's what the RFP is supposed to cover, and the people we hire are supposed to manage all those items.
Yeah, but we need to know who to direct them to.
I think that they've done this before.
Anyway, we'll get together.
Okay,
I don't want to, no.
Go ahead.
I just think we're hiring a company to do that. They're supposed to manage all that. Labella has called out most of these items in their information. We're going to provide that information.
Well,
And are we going to rack up attorney's fees when we're going to have to do it again?
have you looked at these questions?
I have looked at those questions.
I'm not sure that some of this falls into the purview of whether we hire. Some of it does, but
Depends on how the RFP is written.
like,
I mean, I could also speak with Labella and talk to them about what components they plan on having us take a look at or review, et cetera. Because typically they would have some things that they would want to have us
Mhm.
either review or draft or
Well,
during the course of this
Labella,
project.
will be invited to bid on our RFP for construction, engineering construction. But I think that we may have another engineering firm take care of that.
Okay,
So I guess, is this the right time? Is the right time when you have the right parties in place?
I understand what you're saying. I agree with her.
I mean, if in fact there was a good potential, we were continuing the same engineering firm, then that's one thing. The second thing, are we gonna go through this cycle once and have to go through the cycle with someone else?
I think we have to go through it again. So,
So what are you expecting from Kara on this?
well, there's all, I think Bob was anticipating that I would be able to answer those questions.
Right.
Correct, yeah.
like,
So I guess I'm a
in
little
other words,
confused.
let's start this here, wastewater, sanitary connection. Should there be an upfront agreement, memo of understanding, whatever, with sewer district number 2, construct sanitary wastewater pump station there, blah, blah, blah. Transfer ownership of new infrastructure upon completion certification and construction. I don't know that I want to leave that up to someone that hired to answer that. I'd rather have that answered up front. I think it could be. And
In order to go with that, we're gonna have to start funding the NPR. We have to do the NPR, and then as soon as you get those answers, they're gonna want us to start paying connection and sewer fees. That's why I'm trying to defer the NPR, number one, because we still don't understand if we have completed the RFP and where that's gonna go, and if Fast New York is gonna be fully awarded to us, because if Fast New York's fully awarded, is not fully awarded to us for whatever reason, we end up paying money. That's my concern about jumping ahead of
I
it.
agree, except, answering these questions doesn't constitute, starting, required payments, so, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think there should be some understanding of who is responsible for what. But I guess what you're saying is that it may not be Labella that's gonna be managing this project.
Yeah, that's.
So, I mean, if that's the case,
Can I offer that part of those questions help Bob with the RFP? And maybe if you get together, you'll work through the questions, maybe not have a perfect answer, but it might help.
That's a good point.
with.
That's-
Yeah, I think a lot of the questions are, it's differentiated by topic. So in some ways, the question is repeated in several incident, should we have an MOU for these types of things with the entities involved?
And that was,
And I know we have some documentation with them already, correct?
the Bellick's covered a lot of those items. Now, my question is that I will tell you that I'm believing that if we start doing these things, MOUs, and all this stuff, they're not gonna discuss with us until we start the engineering, start the MPR, pay the money up front for them, and start the process. As soon as they get the MPR approved, then they're gonna drive everything else to sewer funds. And granted, it's not a lot of money, but $8,000 or $10,000 a year mounts up over the course of time.
Right, here, the question is, should there be, it's not to write it or anything, should there be an upfront agreement / MOU? The answer to that question, then that goes into the RFP, as Kara said. So some of these things, a lot of them are just that. Do we want them in the RFP? That's all. Nothing that's gonna be initiated as a result of this.
I will tell you, if you start talking to the sewer district, they're gonna make you initiate,
Well, we're gonna need to talk, we need to talk to Kevin.
you know?
So Bob has a list of questions for him. How we can say, forget it, we don't get them answered, and we'll just wing it. Or we can talk.
Do what you want. I
Kevin's
thought,
a good man, and you do what, communication's the key to every success.
So I agree,
So, yeah, the quicker you talk, the better.
we're not committing to anything. We're just getting
I think
answers.
they're gonna make you commit before they answer the questions.
Well, that's the case, we won't commit.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I know, I don't mind the questions. I just think that a lot of this, people who, if we hire the right person, will intuitively know these items, know what they're supposed to be doing. This isn't a big sewer project by any means.
I realize that, acutely. Having done this,
Yeah.
but,
Okay.
questions.
Do what you want. Hope we can get our attorney's fees back from them. We tried communications, Brian. That's why we got the letter saying they wanted to start formal initiation. Okay, do what you gotta do.
So I'll talk about, maybe we'll get in touch with you, maybe,
Okay,
and we'll just so see what happens. We'll not do that, but we'll do whatever is most cost effective and expeditious.
Okay.
So we'll have that list with Kevin Gorman. And looking to have the RFP by the end of this month, by 1/31.
All right, anything else? Canal side projects, tenant activity?
Just two quick updates. One, I was on site yesterday and SMS Rail reports that there are now more grain shipments coming in. As you know, grain shipments have been down the second half of 2023. They are now expecting to ship out 10 to 15 truckloads a week. So the grain activity now is swinging back hard. They also report they might have an opportunity for some rail car storage, and we're working on that opportunity more to come up with that. And we've done this in the past. It's just additional economic activity. The second update is that CBRE is working with two parties who are expressing interest in portions of canal side. Both are very early in the process. A lot of times these things don't go too far, but just to be aware, CBRE is working with two clients right now. And that's it on canal side, unless there are any questions.
Just minor one with the shared snow plan that had quite a few hands in it. It's two snowstorms, any complaints on that?
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I was on site yesterday to double check. And yes, I connected with Kiewit today and they report that the second snowstorm, everything's taken care of. I think we're gonna check with this.
Okay, on the rail car storage, not the oil tankers that we've had over.
I'm not
Bad
sure what
promotion.
type of, I'm not sure actually,
Well, I think we want to know.
and we will. I think they're an exploratory process. I think the issue is, I understand they want 200 cars, and there's not enough space for 200 cars. Max is 170. So the deal may not go through because we may not have enough space. So it's still early.
Yeah, I just remember with the oil tankers and all that, you don't need that to fix oil tankers.
Yeah, I have learned though that Canadian Pacific has stored really oil tankers on their tracks right next to our tracks. So that activity has occurred there.
I just don't want us to get any ill will. We don't need that.
Anything else?
That's it for me. No further questions.
Board evaluations? Ally?
Yes,
Pass.
I have,
Fast New York,
Miss West New York.
Fast New York, the information's been submitted. When the process is going to take place, we don't know. April, May, probably. We'll see. That's for final.
It's not-
Fast New York was an acronym because when we put our initial application, it was quickly approved. With a caveat, there's still 6 months worth to go of paperwork and stuff to get it done. That's the caveat. But other than that, no information.
Those knew that it's gonna go through the first board, then the second board, then public hearings. It's more than just one process.
Ally, board evaluations.
Yes, I have 7 so far, so I'm missing 3. Well, actually 2, because it would only be 9. Can you hear me? Oh, you can't hear me. I'm looking for 2 more board evaluations to be filled out and sent to me. Now, I don't know, because when they're submitted to me, a lot of them don't have names, so I can't check off. So if you don't remember sending it to me.
Or just any 2 people send them together.
Okay,
You know, I was first. So.
Well, that's 78%. That's better than the 60% from last year, but it would be nice to get 100%.
okay, nominations, the executive committee nominate committee met and proposed of slate officers for, be voted on next month. Slate officers will be Juan as chair, myself as vice chair, and Tim as secretary treasurer. So, we'll see. That's Here's first order of business next month. Canal side option agreement, I would like to cover the other items and come back to that in executive session. So staff report.
Okay, staff report for the last month since our last meeting on December 18th. On the 19th, I actually toured the Yankee Marina new boat storage site that we approved earlier this year, and they have built 1 or 2 sheds, and they are looking to start on their other shed after the winter weather. On the 27th in the holidays, Governor Hochul, as you know, came to town for the Lake George 10 million DRI announcement, and a few of us, including Mr. Chairman, attended that. On the 3rd of January, we investigated assistance to a business located on County Line Road looking to construct a brewery. The owner is vetting out some equipment options, regulatory approval issues, and sewer and septic issues. I'm not yet sure if this project is going to qualify for our incentives, but we are exploring the opportunity. On the 4th, the chairman and I, actually, no, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman was not here. We met with an experienced hotel developer and a local municipality to explore a new hotel in our area. The developer is in the planning stage, and there's more to come. They're hoping to submit for.
I was there.
You were there, yeah, okay, sorry. And the developer is hoping to formally involve the municipality this summer, so more to come on that project. Also on the 4th, participated in Lake George Workforce Housing Project in conjunction with the DRI. As you know, a major component is workforce housing. A major component of that is moving in a private developer to build the facility and operate it. So the group is looking for the IDA to actively participate in that project. Again, more to come. Also on the 4th, met with Representative Associates of Glens Falls with our insurance coverage for Canal Side. The bottom line is we're going to get more coverage and have our premium be reduced $254 or 1.3%. So we were able to modify our policy and get less costly coverage. The main issue is one of our buildings, Canal Side, is now occupied. And when you have occupied buildings, your premium typically decreases. Also on the 4th, met with a person from Camoin Associates who is conducting an industrial park feasibility study for White Creek. That study should be released in the next couple of months. Also on the 4th, it was a very busy day on the 4th, met with a local business person, actually Juan and Dave were also with me, who is considering 2 major developments in Warren County. It's still too early to talk publicly about these projects, but the gears are turning on the opportunity. Then on the 5th, I met with a local equipment manufacturer located Kingsbury on Queensbury Avenue, who's planning an expansion. Again, very early in the stage, not sure if the endeavor will qualify for IDA incentives, but we'll see what happens as that employer does go forward. Then also on the 5th, I provided a tour to a Washington County manufacturing business that is considering an expansion in Washington County. And also on the 5th, attended a meeting with a Washington County site owner who is considering expansion in aviation services and business opportunities in Washington County. Then on the 10th, attended a Zoom meeting with a land business person exploring technology expansion in Saratoga, Warren, and Washington counties. A little bit in the aviation world, more to come on that project. Again, a lot of these projects are in their infancy. Then on the 11th, I attended the meeting for the Queensbury Comprehensive Plan Development. And there were other economic development people in the room, along with several developers talking about the housing situation in Queensbury and economic development situation. Very productive meeting. Apparently, the group had input from public meetings and needed some input directly, particularly from developers, and they found the developers to be very insightful. Then on the 16th, met with Queensbury business owners today, actually. Met with Queensbury business owners who are exploring a workforce housing project. More to come on that. They have a little bit more engineering to do before they know exactly what they will be doing. And then this afternoon, I met with the leader of a local amusement park who is considering some expansions. Again, early in the process, more to come. As far as the incentive projects pipeline, we have 5 that I have in the green category, meaning we know these clients are working on the application. 2 very large projects are going slower than expected because they're dealing with some engineering, regulatory, and other planning related issues. We have 2 housing projects on that list, and we have the 1 hotel project on that list. Then with applications that are under what I call serious evaluation, they're orange or yellow as opposed to being green. We have 8 of those applications. We have 13 applications that people are exploring whether or not they want to do their project, and if they do the project, whether they'll do the IDA. And then we have 16 projects that we've talked to who have since become an active. That's it as far as my update, unless there are any questions.
What, can you say, what county the potential, hotel is gonna be in?
Warren County. Further questions? Good.
Okay. Education moment, as we said, we're setting up 2 sessions. The 5th, is it the 6th of February and the 5th of March, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So getting information on that, being held at FMBF's at 68 Warren Street. They'll be taped so they can be looked at afterwards. You can't get there, but we also have some plans to use that for other education, other places.
What was the date?
6th of February and 5th of March. Okay. Other? Any other questions or any other topics to come up? Okay. Public comments? I guess there are none. So I will take a motion to enter into an executive session for discussion of contractual terms.
So move.
John, you can stick around.
Gonna go to the tanker. I'll meet you there.
Warm it up.
He's buying it, it's Fort County.
So we will adjourn out of executive session so we can cut it off.